Okay, perfect. Welcome, everyone. This is the third time we're meeting in the AI Club, and today's theme is large language models. I'd like to introduce you to our guest here, and that is Sherry Simons. She lives in Alaska, in Anchorage, and she has earned DPM twice, and she's also a part of four clubs. She loves to learn new things, and she's excited to be a part of our AI club. So I hand it over to Sherry.
Thank you very much, Ms. Khan. We're getting quite a bit of feedback, so maybe we can get everyone muted, and then we'll be able to get on. And if you're able to turn on your camera, we would love to see your faces. Toastmasters is one of those places where we want feedback and we want to be able to see your faces and see. So thank you for turning on cameras if you're able to. Oh, I love the Einstein. I'm going to go over our agenda just to make sure that we have all of our roles filled and everyone here. So we will have Heather Abruzzi as our counter. Are you here and able to tell us about? Yes, there. Yeah, you're right. Tell us about that role. So, Shalene, are you doing the counter or?
Yes, I am the counter.
Okay. Would you go ahead and explain the role for the rest of the members? Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster. So today, be very mindful because I will be watching all of you very carefully and I'll be listening to you very carefully, especially if you're going to use any kind of filler words or you're going to say, like, so, and if you do this, or you pause in between, or you repeat, and if there's a false start. I'm going to count all these words for you and give it back in the report. Thank you. Back to
you. Great. Thank you very much. Now, Muskan Manoka is going to be our timer. If you would go ahead and tell us what you're going to be showing us and how you're going to be timing. Muskan?
Yes, just a second. I was just trying to get my video on. Sorry. So I'm going to be the timer for today, and I would help everyone who's speaking just to know how they're doing with the time. If they're good with the time, let me just get that background on. So yes, in the beginning, my background would look something like this. And after that, once the time is, like the perfect time for your speech or your talk, then it would look like this. When it's going towards, the end of the time limit, then I would show this. And when it crosses the time limit, it would be red. That's all.
Okay, thank you. And maybe if you raise your hand, the virtual hand, it would put you up in the left-hand corner and everyone will be able to keep an eye on that if they're speaking. Thank you.
Yes, I'll do that. Thank you.
Jamal George is going to do our company profile. Mehan Sultan, I'm sorry, I am going to not do your last name. Sultan Zada is our evaluator for our first speech. Namitha Nandakumar is going to be our first speaker. Tim Liu is our evaluator. And he's going to be evaluating our second speaker, Akshita Mittal. And then we have some table topics. That's where we learn to speak on our feet and see if we're able to just think quickly. Sheena, too, is going to lead us through that. And then we will have a wrap up with doing the evaluations and finding out how all we did throughout the meeting. So I'm going to start right off by having our company profile given by Jamal George. Please welcome Jamal to the stage.
Thank you, Toastmaster. I work for Cisco, which is a global leader in networking and technology. It's a Fortune 100 company, and it's been ranked #1 best place to work, 3rd time in a row. Cisco is the bridge to possible. It transforms how people connect, communicate, and collaborate. So last week, when I attended our club meeting at NVIDIA in person, I noticed that the video conference monitor had a Cisco label, and that totally made me smile. Cisco has been integrating AI across its broad portfolio and comprehensive solutions in networking, security, collaborations, data centers, cloud, IoT, software, and services. I know it's a mouthful, but I had to say it. Their customer base includes businesses of all sizes, public institutions, governments, large web-scale providers, healthcare, and more. Now let's delve into the types of AI, an example of their usage in Cisco's products. First one is predictive AI. Predictive AI forecasts future outcomes based on historical data and patterns. For example, Cisco DNA Center, which is an intent-based centralized management platform, uses predictive AI to forecast network performance by analyzing historical network traffic and usage patterns. And this allows proactive measures to be taken to maintain optimal performance in an organization's network's infrastructure. The next type of AI is generative AI, and generative AI involves creating new content based on patterns learned from existing data. Cisco's collaboration solution, which is WebEx, that is used for video meetings, callings, messages, and more, WebEx uses generative AI for enhancing the meeting quality, such as noise cancellation, background blurring, transcribing spoken words into text, and this ensures clear communication and effective remote collaboration. The third type of AI, which is the theme of our meeting today, is large language models, LLMs. They use large set of parameters that help them with reading, writing, and understanding text, almost like humans do, but in a very advanced way. Where is this used? So Cisco will harness the power of LLMs in summarizing capabilities in WebEx so that the people can get up to speed in seconds. Features like Catch Me Up, which allows users to quickly catch up on missed interactions, missed meetings, calls, chats, and so on. And on the security side, Cisco will harness the power of LLMs to reimagine policy management, scenarios where time is of essence, especially with threat detection and response. Analysts rapidly gain an understanding of complex systems at machine level using LLMs. Cisco's AI-driven vision isn't just a dream. It's a reality within reach. Cisco embraces the potential of AI to enrich our lives, making our networks smarter, our interactions smoother, and our planet greener. The future where technology understands us and works for us is now here. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Jamal. Obviously, we've all heard of Cisco, but we know a lot more about it and the way it uses AI. So thank you for that. Now we're going to have our first speaker, and we'll have Mahan to give an introduction of what the evaluation is.
Yes. Thank you so much for another opportunity. That's it. being here. So today I'm going to evaluate our speaker speech by a few pillars like clarity, vocal variety, eye contact, gesture, audience awareness, comfort level, and a specific speech purpose. So these are the pillars that I'm going to evaluate your speech, and please go ahead and start your speech. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mohan. Our speaker will be Toastmaster Namihitha. She's passionate about technology, a Toastmaster, a creative artist, and an avid reader who loves to learn something new. Please welcome her with Midjourney.
Thank you so much, Sherry. Before we start, I would like to ask how many of you have used Discord, the app? Okay. Anyone wants to tell me why they used it?
Because my
Yeah.
son was on it.
Okay. Anyone else?
Because Midjourney is on Discord.
Anyone else?
I use it for my grad school coursework and, some research labs and even Midjourney, yes.
Okay. Glad to know there are people who know Midjourney. I have used it. So I used to game a lot on PUBG, Call of Duty, and there we have servers for our squad. In these games, we have a squad of 4 members. And for communication purpose, we have used this. But Discord has another creative purpose in this today's world ridden with AI, and that is called Midjourney. Now, Midjourney is a bot. A bot, you use a command, you give it a prompt, and it will create an image for you based on the prompt. So let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Thank you, Abhijit. So I love t-shirts. Wearing a t-shirt right now, and I was searching for travel t-shirts on Etsy. I saw a few of them I liked, but I was like, this can be tweaked. They should use this color, they should use this tint. And I started experimenting in Canva with elements. And that led to my friend exclaiming, you create your own designs, but I create on paper or on glass or canvas. So he said, why don't you use your own design? Why are you reusing the ones available in Canva? I said, because I'm not really good at this right now, creating digital stuff. And that led me to Midjourney. He said, Midjourney is an AI app. You give your design, it will create various versions of you. You can change anything and everything about your art, and it's easy to download and use. So, here's a brief about Midjourney, which is a generative artificial intelligence program, which means you give it a prompt, it will create content for you. In Midjourney, it's art. In ChatGPT, it's text. And there are various other ones also like DALL-E. It was created by Research Lab Midjourney Inc. As I said, it creates images from prompt. It gives 4 sample images. You can choose from them and customize it. We use a bot for it, and the command is /imagine. Moving forward, so we can use it to create the images, as I said, and they are customizable, which I'll show coming forward. All the contents are original, and in case you're using some other artist content, the artist does not give you a license, they have the right to remove it, and you cannot use that content. But if it's your own original one or created by the Midjourney bot, it is free to use. And for special effects, you have to do various tools like Canva or Snapseed There are many tools out there, Lightroom and all, but here you don't have to do it specifically. You can just give it in a prompt and it will give the image for you. Otherwise, there are many steps to create a certain amount of effect on the image. Apart from that, it is used for brainstorming. For example, architects used to create the mood board before they select an idea. So they use Midjourney for that, and the advertising teams use to create custom ad for customers. So here's a sample image. I used the prompt. I'm sorry, somebody's speaking.
All right, we got two going to watch.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man?
Very good.
You
thanks.
good? All right.
Okay. So here's a prompt I used, Nighttime Tokyo in Fairy Tale. You can use any kind of prompt, like a mechanical owl or futuristic Lord of the Rings. I used this prompt, and this is one of the images Midjourney gave me. How I generated this one is here. I gave it a prompt, and in around 1 minute, it gave me all these 4 images, these 4 variations. You can see these options for upscaling as in enlarging an image in various sizes, and the versions, version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4. For this purpose, I use the version 3 image. Once I select the version, it will give me these many options. You can vary this image slightly or a lot by these options, or you can vary just a region of it. You can zoom in or do a custom zoom. You can pan, right, left, up, down, as in you can go a bit right into the image. It will create the right side of it, a bit left to the image. You can like it, or you can open it on a web page. Okay. Moving forward, I selected the vary option for a region. So it gave me this menu. And I selected this region to be varied. Then I selected it using this tool and submitted it. It gave me 4 versions of the same image with the reflection slightly changed in each of them. Then I used the version 4 of it. These are the enlarged versions. I used the version 4 of it, and this is the final image. It literally took me 10 minutes to make it, update it, and it's ready to use anywhere, on wall art, on t-shirts, whatever you want to use this image for, you can use it, even for a poster. Now, these are just brief details of Midjourney. It was released in July 2022. Right now, the version is 5.2, which was released this year in July. And there are some banned words. You cannot create all kinds of content. There are some specific keywords we have banned, and a set of words you cannot use for your content. So, yep, that's about it. I see the timer as yellow. Over to you, Sherry.
Thank you so much, Namatita. That's just beautiful to learn about. Now, our second speaker is going to be evaluated by Tim Liu. It'll be Akshita's speech. Tim, would you introduce the speech, what the evaluation will be about?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening or afternoon. Akshita is to give a 5 to 7 minute speech, and the title is How Do We Get Here? Sounds like one of those theme lyrics that was started by Star Trek, which is took us a long time from there to now. But anyway, let's listen to Akshita deliver her 5 to 7 minute speech. Over to you.
Thank you,
Tim. Oh, let me introduce you just a little bit more. The aim of this speech is to introduce the building blocks that lead up to the development of large language models like ChatGPT. The idea is to make this information available to everyone so that we can collectively start developing an intuition towards the technologies that we use. Please welcome Ashita Mittal with How Did We Get Here?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. How did we get here? How many of us have used ChatGPT at some point? How many of us are curious about the technologies behind it? Well, this is a very long journey, so I'll get right into it. It all started with the question, what comes next? Given a sentence, we wanted the model to be able to predict the next word. An example of this would be autocomplete. Okay. Right. Technical difficulties. Okay. So before I jump into it, I want to lay down 3 foundations. The first is that machine learning models require fixed size inputs of a sense. For instance, images can be reshaped or resized to fit a particular shape, size, but sentences, they vary in length. Second, machine learning models cannot work with words per se. They need a numeric representation. One way we can do this is by defining a dictionary of words, of all the words that we want to use, and just create a mapping like the one I've shown here. Third, machine learning models require large amounts of data to learn from. But for today's intuition, I'm going to stick with this paragraph and this sentence. Now that we have a paragraph, we have a mapping, and we have a sentence which is incomplete, how do we find out what's next? So the very first model that was developed was called the N-gram model. Now here N means the number of words. The idea of the N-gram model is to look at the N-1 words, in the last N-1 words in an incomplete sentence. For instance, if N was 3, we would take the last 2 words, which is Toastmasters is. And then we would go to our dictionary and we will take a subset of the words, and one by one, we will replace the missing dash, the dash part, with that particular word and search for it in the paragraph. Now we see the number of instances this clause is seen in the paragraph. The idea is that the clause with the most probability is the one that we select. In this example, Toastmasters is not is the answer. Now, N-gram models have 2 main downfalls. We can't see the entire sentence using an N-gram model. And if we take N to be too small, we lose context of the whole sentence. For example, if N is 3, then we don't know what's happening at the beginning of the sentence. But if we make N too large, for instance, if we make N 4 over here, we might not see that clause in our data at all. So we won't get any kind of understanding. So how do we make N larger? Or how do we make models see the whole sentence? That brings us to the next stage. RNNs, or recurrent neural networks. Let us take the same clause from the previous example. Toastmasters is a great. Now here, every blue circle represents a word, the green circle represents the algorithm, and the purple circle represents what's next. Now bear with me. Let us take it one by one. Let us imagine that the entire sentence has just one word. Where we have one word, we pass it to our algorithm, and we get the output. Let's see how that looks for an entire sentence. Right. Here, we see that every sentence has its own starting, algorithm, and output. Now, you must be wondering, how does that help us gain understanding or context from previous words in a sentence? Well, the idea is pretty simple. What we do is, instead of the algorithm outputting just the prediction of the next word, we also output a number or a set of numbers that give us context of what we've seen in the previous words of the sentence. Now, because we do this again and again, we call it a recurrent neural network or recurring. The downfall of recurrent neural networks is quite intuitive. For instance, when we're towards the end of the sentence, while we get very good context in the words before it or the words immediately before it, as we go back progressively, we lose the context. We still get less context from the words earlier in the sentence. Sometimes certain parts of sentences are more meaningful than the end. So that is the next thing that we wanted to tackle in machine learning. So how did we do that? The next set of models was called the transformer. The aim of the transformer is to find the parts of a sentence which give us the most information about what could come next. We pay attention to those parts of the model. Now, to give you the exact in detail explanation of the transformer, it will take another huge session. So I will give you the three main concepts of a transformer model. First, we remove order. Right? We need to remove the sequential nature because we saw that in an RNN, because we encoded the sequential nature, things that are towards the end of a sentence are given more weightage. However, we can't remove order just like that. For instance, this sentence, "Mom, can I have ice cream?" versus "Mom, I can have ice cream." Though the words are the same, the meanings are drastically different. So the way we do this is that we assign a positional encoding to each word. This doesn't have to be in order, but it is a number between 0 to 1, which is consistent. Now that we have a positional encoding, and we have a word index mapping, which is like the numeric representation of each word, we pass this to our algorithm. The algorithm ensures that in a sentence, every word can see another word, like can see every other word. And this creates a matrix. And from this matrix, we figure out which words are the most important or worth paying most attention to. Right? Now, we have this attention mechanism. We have our words and we have our position. We pass it to the next part of the encoding the model, and that predicts what comes next and other things. The interesting thing about transformers is now our capabilities are not just limited to presenting what comes next. We can do language translation, we can do question-answer querying, a lot of different things. So this brings us to our final topic. What is LLMs? LLMs stand for Large Language Model. LLMs are nothing but a stack of transformers together. Like they use transformers as a building block. So we have an input sentence where we type a question into ChatGPT. The LLM, the ChatGPT, looks at our paragraph, at our queries, finds the most important parts of our queries. It encodes the most important parts of our queries, and then it sends it further down into the model to decode and give us our answers back. So with that, I've given you a very brief overview of N-gram models, recurring neural networks, transformers, and LLMs, and I hope that you definitely ask me questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Akshita. Our Toastmasters meeting is divided up into 3 parts. We have the speakers portion, then we have table topics, which is our extemporaneous speaking, and then we have an evaluation portion. And now we're ready for the table topics. To lead us through that is Sheena Tu. Please welcome Sheena.
Hi, everyone. Thank you to be here. So I have a couple questions. So we'll go through them. Do you want to start in the room and then we can, or okay, let's start with Jay. All right. Okay, let's start with creative AI. Okay, how might AI tools contribute to our creative endeavors? You can kind of interpret as much as you like. Yeah.
Sure. That's a great question. Thank you for the question, Sheena. How does AI helped me in being more creative. I'm not a creative person at all, but I would love to create. Whenever I come up with something before ChatGPT, that's BC, before ChatGPT, it was always half conveyed messages, half completed sentences, bad grammar, disconnected sentences. I had a lot of trouble. After ChatGPT, I'm the super communicator. I try to type in things, whatever I want to express. It doesn't come out well. Then I just put it to ChatGPT and then say, can you please polish it and share it? And boom, within a few seconds, it shows up. And I give it to Abhijit. He says, man, that's so great. Literally, he said that. Now that Namita presented Midjourney, I had no clue. I tried, I couldn't use it. But now I understand what is upscale means, or what is that thing, that rectangle that she wrote, how I can use it. Probably I will be able to generate very good images so that I don't have to go to Shalini to create some images from you. Thank you, yeah.
Thank you so much, Ray. I really love your answer. I think this is something that almost every one of us can relate to. BC and now, that's why we're all here and communicate more and have more conversation around. So for the next question, let's shift to about productivity and job landscape. So here's my question. So as AI evolves to perform various tasks, so how can society ensure the continued value of human productivity and available of diverse jobs such as available right now? So let's see, what about Priya, would you like to take this question?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for that question. Productivity is individual response to your job. So I think productivity will be enhanced if you have spreadsheets, if you have automatic formulas that are calculating things for you, and you have tools that help you to do your work quickly. AI is a technology that helps you to enhance your work, and it depends on how the viewer is viewing at the tool. You have to focus on the usability aspect and the usefulness of the AI tool that you're using. So for example, I write a lot of blogs, and I have Grammarly, which is an AI tool. It's a plugin that's available on Chrome. I use that to correct the mistakes and to make my writing perfect in grammar. But what if I think that, oh, Grammarly is going to take my job away, it's going to start doing things better than me? That is not the way to look at it. It's actually helping me. It's helping me to write 2 blogs in the time period that I would use 1 for correcting and perfecting and rewriting. So I think AI tools are extremely important, and they are helping productivity. And if you think that your job is going to go away because of an AI tool, I think you are mistaken. You are only going to be helped, or your job description is going to change a little bit. You will be able to take on more responsibilities because AI tools are helping you. Back to you, Table Topics.
Thank you so much, Kat. Thank you so much for questions. That's definitely, we can start to feel the power of AI and how we started to incorporate in our lives, from Grammarly to ChatGPT, or, there's other tools that we can explore. So let's shift our topic to emotional intelligence. So here's my question, like, how essential do you think is AI to replicate human emotion? So let's have, if you want to answer questions, you can turn on your camera And for now, let's see. Sorry, I don't see. Tim, would you like to get and answer this question?
Sure, go ahead.
Yes, so again, so this question is about emotional intelligence. So how essential is AI to replicate human emotions?
It's essential because at the end of the day, we are trying to communicate with humans. Just like the speeches that you've seen or heard earlier, it would be a good way to teach AI or to teach the machine to learn what we're trying to put in a lot of things within a short, small of time. But we are human beings. The way we receive learning, or the way we receive data, goes into little chunks. So when you have an overwhelming amount of data, that will make our brain go on a stage what we call a brain fog. I call it brain fog. So talking to machines is not the same as machines talking to humans. At the end of the day, we have to use AI to train the machine to understand us as humans. And that's why we have such a language called natural language programming, NLP. Of course, the arts people would declare that as neuro-linguistic programming. That's because the founder coined that word. But to make it logical and understandable to us, we have to interpret. There's always a translator and a translation. And we have to remember always that machines can do things much faster than our brains. They can collect data, they can process data much faster than we can. If we push ourselves to that limit, it becomes suicidal. And this is a warning to all programmers. Try not to program a machine the way a machine works to think like we do, because we can't. And secondly, train a machine to think and act as we are ourselves. It's a very fine line. We don't know our limits, and we try to push our perfection, our need to be a perfect being, but we are not. We are an imperfect being. So bearing that in mind, EI, emotional intelligence, is important, but data collection and data processing is equally important. Over to you.
Thank you so much, David. Thank you for a great answer. I love the way that you help bring human back to table and then kind of almost like educate us about like more about like language processing. Thank you so much for your answer. And for the next one, let's talk about education, and let's see, Juan, would you like to take this question? Are you ready for the next question?
I will be ready for the next question.
Okay, awesome. So this question will be about AI creativity and education. So how might AI enhance creativity and learning for people that have different diverse needs?
So that's a great question. AI could have the opportunity to customize coursework and kind of like do an initial assessment of what you already know and what you need to know. So kind of identify the gaps and then tailor the educational program so you can skip over some of the components that you already know and focus on the components that you may be having a problem. And also, I would think that AI would have the opportunity to re-explain a topic. Like, for example, let's say there's a topic that someone is explaining it this way, but they're still not getting that subject. But if they explain it through a different mechanism, maybe using metaphors, maybe they can understand it a little bit better. So it may have the degrees to tailor the various different approaches, the coursework. So I think that's just the beginning of an opportunity for AI. Thank you. Sorry about all the odds and ends.
Thank you so much. That was very clear. Thank you so much for yeah, we're in the new era, and I look forward to have this very customized. I think we're seeing that a little bit popping up, and definitely we're going to see more integrated in there. Thank you so much, Juan. And do we have another? Yes, go ahead, questions. Well, okay, and let's see. Yeah, Rhoda, are you ready for the next question? Yeah.
Yes.
All right. What about AI and human interaction? So how will progression of AI impact human interactions and expressions of emotions in even like multicultural settings?
That's an interesting question, especially to a human resource professional like me, because we are on crossroads in HR, wherein we are talking about the pros and cons of AI, especially ChatGPT. Just yesterday, I was attending a conference about AI and recruitment and how AI has enhanced our capacity to reach out to technical talent and how we could make our job descriptions more interesting, how we could gain visibility or rather recruit people with needs or special needs, and how we could churn that data using AI to recruit a specific skill set. So that was interesting. And on the other side, we are tired of seeing resumes which are AI generated. So that's the other side that we have been observing. And not to say that job recruiters don't use AI to create their job postings. So to be fair, but that's the case that I've been in group discussions wherein recruiters always say that, oh, it's just the same. We can easily make out that somebody's copied the resume. Sometimes they forget to edit out the by default, there are certain markings that ChatGPT gives. Those also get copied over in the resume. So that's the frustration, but it's a great changeover, and I'm looking forward to how AI can help us with the interviews and recruiting great talent. And back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kumar, for that. Thank you, sir. I think we'll all love your answer. We feel, like, but now we will remember, when you said, best regards, no, your name, like, remember to take that out. Thank you so much. See? Yeah. Let me know when you're ready. Good. Celia? Are you there?
Hi.
Oh, great. Thank you. All right. So here, question about, okay, what about this? This might be a little bit heavy, but try it. Balancing privacy and productivity. We talk about productivity. So what about with the increasing integration of AI? How can we balance between like personalized experience and privacy protection?
I think that this question, this topic of privacy and protection are related between them. Okay, so I think that, for example, me, I use ChatGPT usually, and I think that's helped me to be productive, because productive, and also that sometimes I think that when I feel that if they will steal our information, for example, if I read book, I write book. So and the specific for me, I thought they stole it or they use it for example, they use it for another other person. For that, I think that ChatGPT is an example for AI. They have to make more security for their application, because if someone hack it, it will be a problem, because if, for example, you will lose your job or you lose your production. For that, I think that it's related to who the responsible of this application or this who make AI progress. So I think that they have to work about this point. It just only, for example, focus about emotion, to be emotional, but also to be secure, because it's a lot of people are they use their words. Yeah, for that I think that they need, or we need to this application to be more secure. If we compare it to other application. That's all for me. But thanks for your attention.
Thank you so much, and it's really a balance that we need to take. Do on more creatively, and as time we need to maybe not read the terms of it, because you probably would never want to sign up. But be careful about your privacy. So thank you so much, and back to Toastmaster Sherry.
Thank you so much, Sheena. Great questions. And now we move into our evaluation portion. The first one I'm going to call on is our first evaluator, Mahan Sultan. I'm sorry, I did it again. I really want to try that. Sultan Zada. And he is evaluating Namita's speech.
Make your job easier next time. Sultan means king, and Zadeh means the son of the king. So Sultan Zadeh. So it's easier to say next time. But my father wasn't a king, though. All right, so let's talk about the presentation about Midjourney. Namita, that was a great job overall. You did a fantastic job in terms of introducing us to this new technology called Midjourney. It's an AI-powered tool. And as a person coming from creative industry, I really enjoy to see other people in different disciplines utilizing this creative tool, and we no longer have to explain one simple concept over and over again. I mean, at the end of the day, they're gonna ask me the same question about the same topic. Anyway, that's fantastic, and I believe the way you educated the team and the members here was very effective. Most of my audience were creative students when I was teaching at UC System, and that was very awesome to see a person with an engineering background teaching creative topics, and you did a fantastic job. I have a few comments for you. First of all, I learned from Abhijit that we have to stand up in front of the audience when we talk about and deliver a speech. So just the first comment, I didn't know, just like you during the last presentation I had. Secondly, utilizing the image you had for your beginning of the presentation, that was the VR head mounted display HMD that you utilized. I just want to know what is the connection between that image with Midjourney, which is because virtual reality is you can empower virtual reality or AR with AI, but that's a little bit misleading in my opinion. If you can use some related images to your topic, which is utilizing generative AI to create image, for that would be the first comment. And the second comment, the next comment I have for you is that I love the way you started your presentation with questions. That was really engaging. Because all of us could resonate with your questions. But I believe you spent too much time in educating and teaching us the details of the software, right? The purpose of this speech is to teach us how to give us some background about this application and what is there for us in this application. I love the fact that you mentioned about few features like how to upscale your image, how to get the 4 different version, which version you want to use it. That would be really cool. And Mickey, you could add one more concept to this Midjourney presentation, which is utilizing your reference image as as your starting point, basically in your prompt. These are comments. I'm ready already. So I'm very impressed by your presentation. I had a lot to say, but overall great job, and looking forward to your next presentation. Thank you.
Great job, Mahan. Thank you so much. Now, our second speaking, our second, second evaluator is Tim Liu, and he'll be evaluating Akshita, our second speaker. Yeah.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Ashita Mittal, title, How Did We Get Here? What a wonderful speech. And I think the best part, I don't know whether you realize it, is actually in the concluding slide that you delivered. It was short, concise, and to the point. How I wish you've actually run a flow chart and worked through from the beginning of your speech right to the very end, the same way as you concluded your speech. You started even with the word, before I jump into it. Do you realize that there's an incongruence in that? You're already in it. And what do you mean by before I had to jump? It's because of this incongruence in the language that I was battling in my mind. Are we in the speech proper, or are we just beginning? So maybe you would like to rewrite your speech to make it sound congruent from the very beginning. You had a very good title, How Did We Get Here? It sets the stage for more to come. That's great. And then the story about ChatGPT evolution, the first slide had lots of information. Did you realize that? What a big contrast to the concluding slide that you had. So if you had planned some time into breaking up the 3 parts that you've shown, chunk down, 3 parts into just one chunk, one in one slide. So you have 3 slides which illustrates that particular part. Recurring neural network chart is more digestible. One of the good things of good practices in presenting information is to have the right brain as well as the left brain. Right brain meaning a lot of audio listening, left brain a lot of visuals. So you would like to use picture words to describe the situation. Remember, we are human beings, we are not machines. Machines cannot distinguish between, although we can train it to distinguish, but it is not programmed, or it's not part of their data intake to be able to differentiate emotional word as well as informative words at the same time. They have to work on the basis of yes or no, right or wrong. Yes, no, okay? That's why the flowchart comes in very handy. The drawback of nice pattern is your text tend to be a little bit too small. In Toastmasters, we try to limit ideas in the one slide to be no more than 5 or 7. That's why we got 5 or 7 minutes. Each minute is spent on one particular chunking idea, and we move on. Beginning of the speech, structure the body of your message, and the conclusion. Your conclusion was the best part of all. So if you have just used that as the basis for doing your flow chart in doing your speech, it would have been a wonderful speech. With that, back to you.
Thank you.
Toastmaster.
Thank you, Tim. One of the things that we want to try to do in our evaluations is be so positive and provide a couple of ways that people can improve. And I think both of our evaluators did that today. We have our all counter now, Shalina.
Yes, I will share. Can you see? There's from me. Yeah, I need to add my name here. Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster. Here, I would like to share my Excel sheet. How do I do that? Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen? So Namita had 4 so, an and 2 pauses. Celia, okay, back to my 2. So Celia gave me a good time. I counted around 24. Then she had, I think, 6 times or 8 times. She was in competition with Mahan, who had 2 hours. I had a field day counting Sheena's ums. I was literally grabbing them, catching them and putting them down. Jamal had 4, yes, no, she's not Jamal. Oh, yeah, Sheena had, Jamal, Jay, they, and Shantanu, they didn't have anything. I don't know whether Shantanu talked. Okay, they didn't have anything. So thank you so much. I was listening to you very carefully. On top of this, I tried to use Otter.ai to count the R's and ums and all that because it's giving the speech out there. Somehow Otter.ai understood I'm going to do that and stopped working for me. Right? So thank you all. I had a field day collecting all these.
Thank you very much, Shalini. I think that's great that you tried to use the AI. And I am thinking maybe we need one more slot there for mispronunciations, and then I would have quite a few little marks in there. I'm going to keep working on pronouncing people's names. Now we have our timer report. Let's see. Muskan.
Yes, and that pronunciation was perfect. So thank you everyone for giving wonderful speeches and talks today. Let me start off with the first talk that was a company call given by Jamal. That was 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Our first speaker, Namita, talked for 6 minutes and 45 seconds. Our second speaker, Akshata, she talked for 8 minutes. Now coming to the table topics. Jay spoke for 1 minute and 45 seconds. Priya spoke for 1 minute and 42 seconds. Tim for 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Juan spoke for 1 minute and 10 seconds. Runda spoke for 1 minute and 47 seconds. Celia spoke for 1 minute and 55 seconds. Table topics, I think they maintain their time very well. Our first evaluator, Mahan, he spoke for 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And our second evaluator, Tim, he spoke for 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now I think we are going to have some comments from our guests. I am going to call on, let's see, I'm trying to look at our Shantanu.
Oh, hello. That was
Yes.
again perfectly pronounced. So this is my first meeting in this Toastmaster. I've been a part of the Toastmaster, and this is the first time I'm attending a meeting which is based completely on AI. I got to learn so much. I feel like I'm in the middle of a class with all the professors feeding me stuff and my little brain trying to cope up. I had a great time, I learned a lot, and to be honest, I look forward to join the club. So if anyone could tell me to whom I can connect with. So yeah, that's all from my side. Thank you. And
All right.
next time I will be there with my video on for sure.
Great. Thank you, Shantanu. And we will look forward to having you be not just a guest, but a member. Thank you very much. Yu Zhang.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
I'm here because Abu G referred me to this club, and yeah, it's fascinating. It's you learn this is a cutting edge for a lot of tech people in the Silicon Valley. So this is learning from the practitioners, experts. This is a fantastic opportunity. So yeah, I'm definitely eager to learn more. To learn about the
Great.
club.
Glad you joined us. Thank you. Juan.
Hello, good afternoon. So I share the same sentiment as Shantanu. I do wish to see how I can enroll in the club and become a member. This is my second time attending the meeting, my first time on the camera. But yes, I'm interested in. I really like the evaluations. There were really strong evaluations that I've heard in a while. So that was great. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. And Brenda? I know you participated in our table topics and we've seen you before.
Sorry, hi, I was multitasking. So when you are at work and doing this, that's the challenge sometimes. But it was a wonderful opportunity. Thanks, Abhijit, for inviting me here. And I look forward to learning more and visiting again. I was afraid that it would be too technical for me, but it was very interactive and I enjoyed it. Look forward to attending again. Thank you.
Great. Oh, I'm glad you're here. Thank you. And VA. I see you unmuted. Are you able to tell us how you like the meeting and where you're from? We're not hearing you. I'm sorry. Celia, I know you participate in Table Topics and joined us as this is at least your second time. So what did you think today?
I think that I joined this club because the AI is, I think that the famous topic now on social media, a lot of people speak about it. For that, I want to join this club. There are a lot of experienced people here. They make and give the picture theory about this. Like I'm network engineer. I want to understand more and more about this topic. I think that's will help me to understand a lot of things. And I thanks for all member here. They work hard for it, and I think that it's good and amazing experience.
Okay. Well, I hope that you do join us. And I'm sorry I wasn't keeping as close an eye on the time as I should have. I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to talk to all of our guests, but it is after 12 and Toastmasters doesn't do that. I never run over. So I'm really apologize to everyone for that. Is there anything, Abhijit, that we need to talk about before we sign off?
The district is hosting the district showcase on October 21st. Jamal, can you put the link, registration link in the chat? So please register. It's going to be have a world champion of public speaking from 2007. He's coming. He's going to give us 2 talks. And there is another gentleman coming who's going to tell us about how to do TED Talks. So these are the 3 different sessions which are happening. So please join us. It is going to be a hybrid event. You can join us in person or you can join us online. So Jamal, can you put that link? And everyone who is interested in joining the club, do message me. Ritesh has just put in our club email address. Ritesh, can you put the club email address again?
I did. Yeah.
Perfect. See you all again next week, same time. Please join us 5 minutes early so that we can chat. And if you want to come in person, you can come in person. We meet in Santa Clara. I can send the address. Anyone who wants to stay after and have a chat or have questions, please feel free. We are here for some more time. Thank you so much, Sherry, for doing a wonderful job.
Great meeting. Learned a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. Noor, thank you for becoming our member. Great to have you, Noor. And next week, we want to see your picture, Ruth. We want to see your the beautiful smile. All right, it's from okay. Hi, Deepa. Deepa, how was it for you, Deepa? Deepa, can you hear us? Deepa is also in AI. Muskan, how was it being a timer today? Back to back.
It was good. I think that I made a mistake in the starting with the gem or because the timing of that was not mentioned on the schedule that we have. And then I forgot that it was supposed to be between 3 to 5. I read that, I just assumed it was like between 2 and 4. And then I put the red earlier. Sorry for
You know,
that.
it's very hard to stop Jaimal.
Sorry, what?
It's very hard to stop Jaimal. You have to like have blinker, right?
So I
And that's
think
what DTM means.
maybe that's why you stopped on the right time. Just before 5.
That's what DTM stands for. Don't time me. Interested in being a DTM, please be a DTM. It's amazing. You get to speak a lot. Okay, see you all. Have fun and happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Bye. How are you, Amshi?
Oops. Okay. Yeah, it is good. Abhijit, thanks.
Great.
I will connect you later.
Okay, definitely, Vamshi.
Thank you.
Sure.
So I have
Go ahead, Shantanu.
so like let's say I become a part of the Toastmaster Club and I go for a speech or I go for a particular role. Is that has to be necessary resolving around AI?
No, technical.
Yes, our speeches will be around AI and we will help you with that. Okay.
Sorry,
We
can you
will
repeat that?
your speeches will be around AI and we will help you with that.
Okay. So
Okay.
does it is it all just about the particular speeches or is it the same for all the roles and table topics?
The table topics will also be on AI, but we will have a specific theme every time.
Okay.
What theme
so,
do you want next week? What is your speech about?
I'm thinking about runway. It's like showing like image to video, video to video. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Sounds great. Shantanu, we will help you every step of the way. We have lots of good mentors.
Okay. So does it has to be strictly 100% AI or could it be a little mocktail of AI mixed with a little bit of humor, a little bit of need of education, a little
Of
bit
course,
of
of course.
cocktail?
Yes, definitely.
Just say AI in the beginning. After that, you can say.
Okay, sounds great.
Sounds good. You got my email, right?
Yeah, I would like to become a member before the next meeting.
Perfect. You can send me everything. I'll send you all the information.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. It's fun.
Yeah, it was good. It's good to be in person. This is the first